This ability to lose themselves in action accounts for the spectacular individual work some composers are capable of, and yet they also have a social side. The ISFP is the kindest of all the types, with only the ESFP as a near competitor. Here is unconditional kindness carried to its most extreme form. In addition, composers are especially sensitive to the pain and suffering of others, and with a sympathetic impulsivity, they give freely to the sufferer. And the first thing I think of about that is, even when I was a really young child, I got more upset when my brothers got punished, if I thought it was unfair, than if it happened to me. Not that I enjoyed it happening to me, but it was different. Like, if it happened to me, I would be upset that I was being punished, and especially, if I was punished physically, it would be painful, and I would, whatever the, that age kid version of this sucks was, that I was thinking. But it was different when it was my brothers or another kid that I knew or my mother or somebody that I thought, was in some way going through suffering that was not in any way deserved. And it's hard to explain if you haven't experienced it, but the adrenaline would pump in me so much. It would be like a cat ruffling up their fur. Like I would have this sensation that just went through me of I don't know if indignation, I don't know if that's the right word, but just this reaction, very strong, to defend someone or to stand up for someone. And when I read this part in the book, that's the kind of thing that I thought of it, and as an example in my own life, and it wasn't always punishment. That just was one thing, When I was in first grade, there was another student in my class that had a lot of trouble with material that we were doing, and he had to have these sort of side tutoring sessions with the teacher where she had him separate from the rest of the class and a table going over stuff with him, and I would, uninvited by the teacher, go up to the table and start trying to do the stuff along with him or help him. And it wasn't because I don't know how to explain it exactly as far as what drove it, but I felt like somehow that was just what I had to do, and it really wasn't an altruistic thing. When I think about it now, I don't think it was because I just had this innate desire that, it's my job to go around and cure suffering. It's different, and I'm at a loss for words at exactly how to describe it other than what I read to you at the beginning of this in terms of the way it's phrased. That's probably, a really good way to put it, a sympathetic impulsivity, even though it's not easy to say without concentrating. But that's what it is. It's it's not any sense of moral superiority in any way. It's not me feeling like it's my job to right the wrongs of the world. So, in fact, that mentality actually annoys me. So it's kind of strange. It's hard to describe what the difference is to someone if they don't understand, but because there are people that have that kind of their attitude is they're consumed by the things that are wrong in the world, and they feel like, I've got to spend a lot of time figuring out ways to fix these things and, strive for this world peace and perfection and utopian society type of attitude. I've never felt that way. I don't think it took me very long as a kid to figure out that was not something that was possible. That I didn't. I think I was cynical even at a young age, and that's the thing, is that it's not really a contradiction, but I probably thought it was for a long time. And it wasn't until being older and really being able to kind of see those things more clearly that I was able to sort of understand that it's a completely different feeling. And anyway, I'm kind of rambling on that subject, not very coherently, so I'm going to move on. But that first great example was one I thought of, just because it was something where I remembered I was completely uninvited in helping somebody, and yeah, now I don't remember what I was going to say. So if I think of it, I'll just put it in the next part.